Hello, welcome to Rage You Nerds. Tonight we're going to discuss WandaVision, Episode 9, the season finale, the series finale. And listen, we are those nerds that went down so many different rabbit holes, including the one involving the actual rabbit. And do we have thoughts based on how those theories didn't pan out? Sure. The reality is this. Some of us were just too nerdy for what the story actually wanted to tell us. That's not right. That's not wrong. We got the story of someone going through grief that happens to have superpowers. In its own merit, that's a really, really good story. The rest of us are insane, and we wanted so much more from this, and that's on us, not WandaVision. So sit your ass down and come listen to two nerds talk about our disappointment. Come on, y'all! WandaVision! Rage You Nerds! Woo!
You're disappointed.
Yeah, so, I don't think disappointment is the correct term. I don't think I was disappointed. I think that there was clear... It felt like maybe they were sprinkling things along the way. But the reality is, we just projected a lot of stuff because that's what we do. I mean, we're called Rage You Nerds. I'm Mr. Cack. That's Reno. This is Rage You Nerds. We're talking WandaVision Episode 9. So I don't think that's off-brand for us. But I also don't think... So, like, there's been people that are like... Because Episode 9 is, like, the worst rated of the WandaVision series on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it was a bad episode. I just felt like there were plot points that might have been available for them to use, and they didn't use them. And that's, that's nothing against the story. I thought it was a really good story.
It's setting up multiverse of madness.
I think if you came into WandaVision without any previous experience to knowing what the Fantastic Four were, like if your sole bubble of WandaVision knowledge was at the very most just knowing like the Avenger movies that she was like created in for the MCU and the preceding ones, then I think you came into this without any delusions of grandeur. Like I think you came in thinking, dude, this is just a messed up lady with superpowers that's trying to process grief, which is, I mean, something we've said since we started talking about WandaVision. Like that was clearly the point of this. So it feels disingenuous if I would come out and say, well, they gave me exactly what I thought was happening, and I'm very upset. The rest of the stuff was just things that I thought existed. But, dude, Marvel screws with people all the time. They literally...
Dude, they really do.
It's on the record. They literally brought the character Dottie in and gave her little nuggets in the show to be a red herring. Like, so, I mean, like, it's not that they didn't intentionally mess with us, but the director has went on, record now to say we never had any plans of including Mephisto. Like that just wasn't a thing. We never meant to allude to the aerospace engineer being potentially a Fantastic Four tie-in. That's something you nerds thought about way deeper than we did.
Whoopsie.
And again, I don't think that's bad. I think it's just understanding the fan base that comes associated with these type of shows and films.
Yeah. Just like Star Wars, man. Everybody goes crazy.
Yeah. So Reno, what'd you think of this episode? I've tried to lay it out in a way that's like I'm not disappointed. Kmart, oh shit, hi y'all, it's early. What up, Kmart?
What up?
But I've tried to lay it out like maybe there is like some disappointment, but like whatever. What'd you think, Reno?
I was not disappointed. I was felt wanting. I think that's the best way I could put it. What happened to White Vision? Where's he going? Where's his story going? That just kind of got left. We got a follow up with Photon on where she's gonna be heading. So that at least is leading to something else, which like all Marvel franchises or all Marvel movies did at the beginning of all this, it's leading to something else.
No.
And so like this is like the classic Marvel. Okay, well that was great, but I can't wait till this, because everything that's leading up to it. Now that being said, that White Vision is absolutely terrifying.
Dude, are his teeth blacked out?
dude, it's weird. And did they mix his voice with that one dude with Ultron's voice, dude?
See, you know,
Is that where he came in?
I don't know. I think that might have
Because it
also
didn't
just been.
sound like him.
I think it might have also just been another red herring, right? It'd be cool if they
Maybe.
did. I feel like after like sitting down with things, it just seems like Marvel tried to screw with those of us that were going to dig too deep.
Like, hey, we're gonna hire this guy to make him think this, just to do it. He's not even going to be in the show. We're just going to tell him that he is.
But now, if they did put like some reverb from Jabe Spader in there, that'd be really cool. And that might now be something I obsess over to try to listen to see if I can figure out now. Or someone will yell at us at some point and say, "No, you're wrong," or "Yeah, you're right. How'd you guess it?" Yeah.
Oh no.
But
I
mean,
yeah, I thought it was a good episode though. Like, I like how they wrapped up Agatha's, involvement in this and what ended up happening there, and then at the end when she captures her in her own trap, basically, that she trapped her in earlier. And it's also cool to know that Quicksilver was just being controlled by a necklace and not actually Quicksilver from another multiverse or anything like that. But
all right. Quicksilver or Pietro in WandaVision, spoiler alert, is Ralph Boner.
Yep.
There you go.
What a name.
Like that is probably the first indication, like, oh, dude, they were just messing with a lot of us, huh?
Yeah. I will honestly, and this is something else that, honestly, this is the biggest thing that bugged me about this episode. The entire series has been a build up, and we've known that Hayward is a bad guy, and we know that he's after this, and he's trying to do all these things, and then, oh, well, we just beat him, and that's it. They don't reveal anything about what he was after, or what he was doing, or what his long-term goal was. It's just like, all right, well, he's in jail now.
Yeah. So I didn't think about this in the moment because I was just trying to process the episode when it was going on. You're right, but here's what I think they're doing with Hayward, which again is a pretty classic Marvel move. I think Hayward is going to be somehow tied into the big bad of one of the other series. I think so. It could be the Miss Marvel, or Miss Marvel, right? That's the one that's coming out on Disney Plus that'll have the younger Marvel, a girl that will inherit Captain Marvel's type powers.
I don't recall, being honest with you.
So there's something like that'll be coming on Disney Plus, or to tie into the tie-in at the end of this, the first credit scene, he might end up being involved in the Secret Invasion storyline, which seems to look like Monica Rambeau as Photon or Spectrum, depending on what moniker they go with, because she carried a couple of them in the comics. Will be kind of faced off with, and it's good because he's already established himself as being someone that isn't a big fan of the space side of things. So, he got rid of worlds in Sword and made them weapons. So. He seems to not care about that crap happening up in space and your magic floating girls and your green peoples and your witches. I just want the $3 billion walking
Vision
Robo Boy.
Which now the Mind Stone Vision has implanted his memories into the White Vision, so
yeah, and there's
is he eventually going to turn back into his old self?
Yeah, there's still interesting things there where Vision can make a comeback. Probably Multiverse of Madness, right? You would think that's where he shows up. Now, I will say this, and I read an article today, again, from the director, because he's just getting grilled by everyone in existence now, and now he's now he fully understands the reality and mistake it was to join a Marvel's flick. Is that there is one thing that was left on the cutting room floor that they legitimately thought people had some fan theories about. And that was Senor Scratchy. There was a scene that they didn't even finish the special effects for, but they had filmed, where at some point in this episode, after Ralph Boner is freed from his mind control, Ralph, Monica, they go down to the basement to get the children, where they go back, they go back into the house and find the children, and then they decide to go get the Darkhold because the children saw it down in the basement. So they go down there and they see Senor Scratchy, and the kids are like, Senor Scratchy's the best, and they're like petting him, and then like all of a sudden he hisses and backs up and like and like this is how they said it, American Werewolf in London style, transforms into a big demonic creature that then chases them around out of the house. Like, not a necessary thing to have, but it at least
would have been nice.
It would have at least resolved the Senor Scratchy story, which there seemed to be like something there, because she always talked about Ralph, and we figured out who Ralph was, and she always had Senor Scratchy, and she like built up Senor Scratchy. Again, I know it's us just reading a whole lot more into something than what they probably planned. But yeah, it would have been Agatha's familiar is what Senor Scratchy would have been. So at least acknowledging that, I guess, would have been, decent, because that is kind of one of the character traits of Agatha Harkness, is she has a familiar that, acts on her behalf as kind of a fighter. So we go through this episode very early on. We find out pretty super quick that it wasn't Agatha all along. It was literally Wanda all along. And Agatha just was tormenting Wanda all along. So the Agatha all along, which is #1 on iTunes, is kind of misleading because it necessarily wasn't Agatha all along. It was literally Wanda. Wanda did this. And we went through bouts of discussing that, right? There were points where, like, we didn't think that she was doing this maliciously, and that kind of seems like what she was trying to say.
This is like a subconscious version of herself that's doing this. I don't think she intentionally is putting all these people under control and everything else. I think she just couldn't control it. Her grief, like, made the chaos magic take over or something, I guess. But
well, yeah, I mean, she even said, like, in the previous episode, like, she didn't understand, like, she was casting spells, because Agatha's like, I've never seen this many spells on spells, and she's like, what are you even talking about? I didn't cast any spells. So I do think, again, there's a piece of her that always knew what she was doing was wrong, and I want to choose. Oh, hey, a new follower. Agatha Harkness. Oh my gosh. Agatha Harkness all along is now following. Curse you, Agatha. Curse you. So I think what I said earlier is that I hoped that, or I thought maybe Vision was kind of was kind of some of her personality built into him. And what I choose to interpret from her little closing comments when Hex Vision asks, what am I? And she says, you're my love and my passion, like my hope or something like that. She like lists off all these things. It kind of, to me, felt like she was saying, you were a part of my personality. Yeah. And I want to choose to believe that, right? Because she physically created him, so he's not that. But then, I mean, the kids are, their own living conscious thing. So she created a vision, and I don't know, Theseus's ship and all this stuff, man. It got really Frasier-y there for a minute when they were
Frasier-y,
when the two visions were sitting at a coffee shop pondering life's many questions.
Theseus's ship is not Theseus's ship if you take all the boards and replace them.
Yeah, if you take all the boards and replace, what if you restore all the boards and rebuild it? It's like, okay. I'm dumb. Let's just go on.
Me no understand.
Yeah, it's just like at one point you're just kind of like, dude, one of you hit each other. It's a fight. Get out.
Beat the crap out of each other already.
Get in there. Hit someone. So, but it is nice to see that the Vision fight went in a way that maybe we weren't expecting, but should have been expecting, because like after a certain point, since they are both Vision, they're both going to start to think about things like, wait a minute, why are we fighting? Like, I thought they were setting up to do like a self-destruct type thing where Hex Vision was like, your actual Vision. So if you were told to come kill Vision, shouldn't you kill yourself? Yeah. I'm glad they didn't go that route, because I do secretly like Paul Bettany as just an existence. So I'm glad that he will still potentially be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, there is a possibility that maybe they never touch back on that plot point and Vision's just out there floating. Like, that happens sometimes, but boy, does it feel good to still have Paul Bettany. And because Vision flew away, and if her children never get fully addressed in Multiverse of Madness, there's still a possibility of a season 2 of WandaVision. It would just be a different format. It won't be the sitcom format. It would be literally just a show about Wanda and Vision.
Yeah. I think that this is going to lead directly into Multiverse of Madness. There's not going to be a season 2. And
I don't think
that Multiverse of Madness is going to be caused by her. Because of how that episode ended with her in the Grimhold and all that, and the showing her sons, like, it's very clear. Like, she wants to bring her sons back. And in doing so, I think she is going to either do like, well, she's so super nerdy here, but she's what is known as a Nexus being, right?
Nexus being.
So if she goes crazy and messes up the multiverse, it messes them all up. It doesn't mess just hers up; it messes all of them up. So I think that's where they're heading. I think that's what Multiverse of Madness is going to be about.
Are you disappointed that Mephisto, or I guess not Mephisto specifically, but that there wasn't a big bad, or I guess a bigger bad?
I kind of am. They didn't even have to necessarily bring them into this episode. They could have done a post credit where someone was like, "Dadgummit, Agatha, you had one job," or something like that. Like, just something simple, or even just like what Thanos was at the end of Avengers 1. Like just something subtle.
Something like Vegeta and Nappa over the Scouter when Raditz is killed. We're 10
Nappa.
Times as strong as him. No. Yeah, but I get it, right? When you think of it as this is literally a story for Wanda, which is actually like really good, because out of all the Avengers that we've got, we kind of got an origin story for Wanda, but we never got the same. Wanda never got the same. It's the same kind of issue.
She didn't get her own movie like everyone else.
It's the same kind of issue we've had with, Black Widow, and to a much lesser extent, Hawkeye. It's just like they just appeared, and like you have the bigger Avengers who got their story, including Hulk, right? Even though it was Ed Naughton, and it's kind of pseudo ignored most of the time, but it was a thing. It does make sense. Like if you're going to use Disney Plus to bring in the story or the origin, or at least give some kind of character development to these Avengers that were never really fully fleshed out for us, I can't argue with that, and I can't be upset with that. Like, that's cool, because not only did you give me Wanda, but you gave me something I really like. Paul Bettany as Vision. And Norm. Like, Norm's there.
And old Norm shows up.
This was funny. But yeah, no, Hayward went down like a chump. But again, there was they never planned to have a big bad. They just planned to have obstacles that pushed
Stuff
along.
happened.
Yeah, obstacles that kind of exacerbated everything. Because, I mean, realistically, Wanda is the big bad of the story. Agatha pushed buttons. Hayward pushed buttons. But it seemed like Hayward much more intentionally pushed buttons that seemed like he was angling for something. That's probably what frustrates me the most about Hayward's storyline, just kind of getting curtailed right here. But I think he's gonna show up in another Disney Plus series. I don't think he's a movie boy, but I think he's a Disney Plus series boy.
Yeah.
But boy, would I be surprised if he shows up in Multiverse of Madness. I feel like that thing's going to be a cavalcade of just random and weird
This is
cameos.
what I don't know. Like, here's what I'm really curious as to where they're going to go with this. Like, I really believe that Wanda is going to cause the Multiverse of Madness, but where does Doctor Strange, is he coming into this to try to fix it all? Like, does he end up getting with the Eternals and to fix this all? I don't know.
Do you have any issue with Wanda being stated to be stronger, or eventually is going to be stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme?
I don't.
No.
Because that's I mean that's pretty much basically how it was in the comics,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I
I mean
think
she lost her shit and in what House of M and it's really believable. So it's not like they're pulling something out of their hat, right?
his black teeth
It's in their
just
wheelhouse.
disturb me so much. It's just that's an ugly look, bro. Or
It's really weird that like when he touches him, it almost looks like he put Jarvis in him or something.
oh, his teeth are white. I think it's just his mouth always looks like just solid black when it's open. But it looks like he gave him a little bit of the Mind Stone, a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of bubbly.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
look, this is how you died. And here's how you died again.
yeah, but it looks like he got a little bit of like a Mind Stone power up there. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Vision's back, sort of. And listen, him getting his clear human eyes right here is probably even more off-putting. Like
Yeah.
that is just frightening.
And then he's like turning his head the same
Ugh.
way, and he's like,
Ugh. He just
"Bye."
doesn't. Yeah, it's just
Bye.
super. It's Goku. It's okay. Okay, bye.
How'd you get out of there, Muffin Button?
He just instant transmissions away. It's just
See
where'd
ya.
he go? And that's a callback to what she did in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. She also like always reminds me of like the Alien or something when she like suddenly sneaks up on you super fast. Yeah, I thought it's kind of weird that like her nightmare turned on her.
Yeah, it's like Agatha absorbed it and
Yeah, I didn't
turned it
fully-
on her.
I didn't fully understand that. I will say this: when we get into this, where she's just like wailing off and throwing her powers around, it didn't dawn on me that she was carving the runes in, but it was clever. It was clever. It was all confusing.
I thought something was up whenever she was just intentionally throwing stuff. I was like, she's got to be doing this for a reason. She can't just be like aimlessly throwing crap.
I thought it was gonna be like a I hate drawing it back to Dragon Ball, but like the Dragon Ball movie where they're going against Metal Cooler, Revenge of Cooler. And Goku and Vegeta like grab onto his thing and like, you want to absorb our power? Here, have it all. And like that is what destroys him, is you just can't contain it all. I
Just
kind of
overflows it.
I kind of thought like Wanda was such a powerful creation, like or
Yeah,
creature, that
I
she
kinda
was just
thought
going to
that too.
fully overpower Agatha, who just
I'm
couldn't
just gonna
handle
keep
it.
giving it to you, and you can't handle it.
Yeah, she'll just explode.
Yeah.
But no, they went a clever route. So clever. So she puts up the rune. She literally carves the runes into her hex, which I feel like is a bit unnecessary. She controlled those walls. She could have just, I guess, used her mind powers to do it. But maybe she was, and like the trying to attack Agatha was just a distraction. Who knows? It'll never be clarified. We're dwelling on something that's inconsequential to everything. So,
Yeah.
but that's what we do. That's just what we do.
Reasons.
Yep. I guess anything else that just like stood out to you, like, man, I wish I could have had more of this, or do you feel like ultimately you got everything that you could ask for?
I'm happy with the episode, and I like how they included, her little crown there, and how she makes you can see she actually makes a physical transformation into the Scarlet Witch, and I really like that. I like the only thing I would change about it, the only thing I would want was maybe a little bit more of Photon.
But I think it's a really cool outfit. I'm glad she has a costume. I'm glad she has the superhero alias, even though it's literally a title of her existence. But I dig it. I dig it.
I'm really, really looking forward to what's next. What is next?
Falcon and the
Winter Soldier.
Yep.
When is Black Widow coming out?
This
Black Widow coming out?
This summer?
Is it this summer?
I think so.
So this is where I'm at with that. What is that going to add to our story timeline at this point? Like
nothing. So Black Widow.
You would think it would have like
maybe it drops open something, but Black Widow takes place between the snaps, before the snaps. After it takes place after the bombing in Civil War.
After the first snap.
No, it takes place after the bombing in the Civil War.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's what she goes off to go do when, like, you know how they made a big point to let her know that once she goes out, I think it's after she makes the public announcement, she goes to like the hearing or whatever, and they're like, once you do this, it's when they burn her, it's when they release all the aliases or whatever.
That
You know
was
what I'm
Winter
talking about?
Soldier.
Was that Winter Soldier? Well,
Yeah.
shit. Well, shit. Maybe it's Winter Soldier. I don't know.
Yeah, because she got up there and released all Shield's secrets
Yeah, I feel like
to take them down, and
it's one of those things
she
where
had
it
to
happens in the
hearing.
past because Iron Man is still alive.
Look, if you haven't seen Endgame by this
No
point,
kid.
you deserve to have it spoiled.
Yeah, they gave y'all 2 weeks, and I've given y'all like 2 years, so just chill. But yeah, no, this was sad. Everything about this is sad. The ending is
dude,
so
this
sad.
whole deal was super sad.
Like, she
Super
literally
sad.
walks her children, who in, you know, like, her mind, she knows that she created them. But isn't that what you
But they're
do
still
for
her.
children?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that what a parent does
she
anyway?
still thinks that they're hers. Yeah.
Because they are. Because, I mean, like, that's literally what childbirth is you're just manifesting some children into your body. And that's more than that, right? Calm down, science nerds.
Simplifying it down here.
Yeah, a bit of an oversimplification, but yeah. So, like, what Jimmy Woo does in the... I've seen that used as a pretty good meme, too. So I like that. But it's so freaking heartbreaking. Like,
It
again,
really is.
If it breaks your heart... Like, this isn't me to, like, oh, well, I'm a parent. But, like, dude, I've been watching so many shows that, like, have children, like, getting hurt or erased from existence. And, like, dude, it makes you want to, like, go and check on your kids. Like, it's so weird. It's such a weird vulnerability to have right now. And then her and Vision share their moment. And it's just like, damn, dude. Like, that's tough. She's literally had to watch this guy die 3 times.
Yep.
Dude, that's so messed up.
So messed up. And then he leaves her with this cliffhanger, like, I'll see you again, you know. We'll find each other again.
Well, you know, like, I think a part of him is like, I think there's some of me in that Vision that's out there.
Yeah.
And, like, even if it's not literally him, it's
It's a
the
piece of
fact,
him.
it's a fact that that he understands that Vision loves her. And that while he isn't potentially the true Vision, he, you know, there's got to be some kind of assurance there. If I've helped unlock the Vision that she knew and she created me from him, then if I'm Vision and I'm Big Brain, then eventually those two will find each other. And is that not her finding me? Ship of Theseus, man. Ship of Theseus, man.
If he still thinks that he's Vision.
Sword of Damocles, man. Ship of Theseus. Tree of Might, man. Scooby snacks, bro. So yeah, just sad. But that's what this is.
Hey kids, go to sleep for the final time. Here you go. Good night. Love you.
Such a twisted thing to think about. I'm so glad they didn't show the kids getting erased.
Dude, they really handled it the best way they could. They shut the door. You don't see them again.
They old yellered these kids, dude.
They straight up old yellered them. Take them out to the bedroom and shoot them.
It's so sad. But yeah, no, I mean, like, listen. If you're going to wipe your children out of reality that you created and made your children into existence from, like, that's probably the best end to that you're gonna get, right? You got to say goodbye. You got to tell them that you love them. You got to put them in bed. They fell asleep, and they're erased from existence. Such a dark conversation, man.
So dark.
Such a dark conversation.
And here comes Vision to say, hey, let's keep the lights on.
I want to see you. Yeah, no, lovey-dovey stuff. La 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 la. We're all so happy, but we're sad, but we're happy. It's a real.
You're a piece of me, and
it's a real CW show right at this point.
It's like Seventh Heaven.
Just pretty people having drama. But
Bye-bye, buddy.
and like, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just all cool.
Yeah.
But the Vision
It makes you wonder, though, like, she's got that piece of the Mind Stone that's in her, so, like, can she just, I mean...
Could the Infinity Stones come back at some point?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. Because she's not the only one that's got an Infinity Stone in her,
Could the Infinity
right?
Stones come back? I don't know. Does that bring back
I feel
Red
like that.
Skull? Do we get Red Skull back?
Hey, if it brings back Red Skull, I'd be cool with it.
But
Bring back Red Skull. Bring back Captain America. Let's go.
that's the fun thing about the MCU right now is there's a lot of doors still open, whether they get used or not. But like, there's so many things that they always leave just lying around. And sure, it frustrates fans because we want to see those threads eventually get pulled and lead to something. But the fact that they don't isn't necessarily a bad thing, because who knows? In 5 years from now, what if they're like, you know what? I do want to bring back Red Skull. Like, they can.
Yeah.
They just can. Like, it doesn't.
There'll be a new person that comes to the Boromir or whatever the name of that place was, and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna do this now, and you can go. Bzz.
Dude, what if they go back? What if for some reason they have to go back to that planet and it's Black Widow? That's like the caretaker of that.
Wicked.
Wouldn't that be cool? That's not gonna happen.
That wouldn't happen though. I'd feel like that.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
That'd trigger some people.
But it'd be cool.
Trigger me. I'd be triggered.
It'd be cool though. It'd be neat.
Hey, dead person that I used to like.
You, somebody that I used to know. Somebody.
Put her there and send Bruce Banner there to say hello.
Yeah, no. So there's one thing that really does. There is a loose thread that bugs me, and maybe it was never meant to be anything more than just a one-off plot point. Who was the person Jimmy Woo was supposed to be coming to get from this town? Couldn't they have
missing person?
Couldn't they have just had like Jimmy Woo carting someone off at the end? Like, found him. Just like, that's it.
Maybe it was Ralph Boner.
That's what I thought, man. I thought that's what the importance of like Evan Peters was. That I always felt like Evan Peters was a misdirect. I never for one second thought he would be,
I never thought it was the real deal.
I never thought for one second he'd be the Fox's Quicksilver. But I mean, there for a while though, they did kind of start to mess with my mind, because it's like, well, how is he fat? Like, how does he have the speed? Like, how do you do that? And then it was Agatha all along.
It was Agatha all along.
Yep. Bye, Westview. I now know how to fly. That's just one of those things. One of those things where she's kind of, I can fly like a golden angel, or I guess a scarlet angel now. I'm not gonna explain it, just I can do it now.
Well, she could fly in Avengers.
That well?
In Endgame. Because when she's fighting Thanos and she's like, you took everything from me, she like raises everything up off the ground and goes like 10 feet in the air.
Man, in my mind, I just picture everyone saying something, sarcastic or angsty to Thanos, and him just being like, "Do I know you?" I wish that was his response to everyone. Am I supposed?
I don't know who
you
you are, but let's fight.
Yeah, like you're like who you actually are is inconsequential. Like, let's just get on with this.
Who I am is quite inconsequential.
Inconsequential. So that was WandaVision. There isn't going to be a season 2.
No.
But it was a good story.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what we do with Vision. I mean, could be anything.
It's leading. It's like I said, it's leading somewhere. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But
Vision can literally pop up in anything now.
Yeah.
And hopefully he has his color combo figured out better.
Yeah. Maybe he goes like old school Vision colors now.
The all white Vision is just fucking
the yellow and green. Bring it back, baby.
But yeah, no, we'll see. But it's interesting. It was an interesting way to kind of do things. They didn't kill off Agatha, so that's nice. So they've always got Agatha who can come back into play. I'm really hoping that Catherine Hahn is in Multiverse of Madness, because she is absolutely awesome at what she does.
Yeah, and I think she will be. I think Doctor Strange at some point is going to have to come and get her. Hey.
Yeah. Couldn't they have just had at one point Jimmy just being like, "Oh, hey, that's the guy I was looking for," and like you don't even have to show who it was.
You're the missing person.
Like, you don't even have to show who it was, but like this dude was supposed to find
say it and walk off screen.
This dude was supposed to find a missing person over a week ago, and like
he's really bad at his job.
I feel like he should get fired from his job for how bad he is. Were you expecting a Skrull reveal in this?
I was not.
Do you like it?
I'm good with it.
I wish they'd quit revealing them and actually start giving us more story to them.
Yeah, not just like a one-off like this.
That's WandaVision. I'm Mr. Keck. That's Reno. We'll be back at it in 2 weeks talking Falcon and Winter Soldier. What's that darn Baron Zemo up to? Screen. Give him this.
Yeah.
WandaVision's over, y'all. It's never coming back. You can watch it for like no more new episodes. Goodbye.